What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 2nd Street. I hope you're all having a very good day today. Here we are on MLK Day. I hope you had a very good weekend. I hope that you got a chance to watch WandaVision over and over again this weekend. Before we got ready to talk this morning, about some of the things that I have peeped out of these 2 episodes and what they might mean. First, I want to give a shout out to everybody out there who's watching. Make sure you smash that like button, and I want to say what's up to all the Myrtle Maniacs and all the Patreon supporters. Thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate all your support. If you would like to learn a little bit more about that, make sure you check the links down in the description, and I forgot to put a good description on there today. But regardless of all that, I do want to talk about some stuff. We got Will Morgan in the house. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Go check out Will Morgan's channel. It's a channel called Meta Egg, M-E-T-A Egg, right? You know how to spell egg, right? Well, I don't know. Some people spell it eggs, A-I-G-S. Is that how you spell eggs? I don't know. Anyway, the point being, thank you for being here, Will Morgan. Lord Veedo, my man, thank you so much for being here as well. I hope you're all having a very good day, and like I said, I hope you all had a great weekend. And one of the things I want to talk about here is I've kind of, if you guys have been following the channel here long enough, you've heard me talking a little bit about some of the things that I think are going to be happening here in this WandaVision series. And well, largely, you know what? First, I guess, Mike Porter, thank you so much. How are you doing this morning? My favorite Porter. What are you doing? What am I doing? What are you doing? I'm going live. I'm going live. I seen Josh said that they were going to be late. So I was like, hey, they're going to be late. All right. Oh, okay. He's just going to be a little bit late. He said he's going to be a little bit late. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for being here today. Like I said, I did pick out some things through this trailer, and you know what's funny is, as I was combing through it, some of the stuff really started looking, I don't know, I've had this theory that for a while that maybe we're looking at a version of Pleasant Hill in this throughout the series, a version of Pleasant Hill, also along with other things that have happened throughout the MCU, in the comic books, I guess, here in the MCU, because we know that Kevin Feige does not do direct adaptations of comic books. Now, we've also, we've heard all the talks and speculation that they're doing House of M, maybe they're doing that Vision series, wasn't it Vision series that they did? Some of these different things all kind of combining in here. And I've got to be honest with you when I say I'm really kind of wondering what's going on here. They're tossing a whole bunch of caca at us, okay? I am having fun this morning. How are you doing this morning? Yes, I do. I do love WandaVision so much. It's so great. And the thing is, like, here's the thing. It's like, it does have fans, I wouldn't say divided. It has fans divided on whether they like it or not. I've seen people on Twitter like, oh my God, it's so divided. Like, dude, we're not Star Wars here, bro, okay? It's not Star Wars. But the thing is we can see that I think what happened is there's a lot of expectations for the show, and people have a certain limit of expectations, where I've seen plenty of people coming out here on the internets, on Twitter and stuff. They're like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is so boring. Like, what was this? Like they didn't know what to expect. Yeah, where's there? He'll be around. I'm sure he'll be around. But I've seen people, who are wondering, what was this? What was this all about? Like, this wasn't enough. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. Some people like me who loved it, like my man Mike Porter. I know he loved it. The thing is, yeah, where's ReeferMan? Where's Reefer? Well, he'll be here. He'll be. You know what? I normally go at 6, so maybe he slept in a little bit. He's like, all right, this dude's not going live. I kind of invaded another time slot here really quick, and I probably won't be on here that long, but maybe not, because I got this video I want to shoot that's kind of talking about a lot of this stuff here. But largely we've heard a lot of these rumors and everything coming into the series, and a lot of people have a lot of the same theories. And I want to address something. XR Coon said to me, this son of a bitch, the other day in the Den of Nerds live chat. I'm sitting there talking about Pleasant Hill, and he's like, "Oh, you pushed that way too much, Trinity." Yeah, well, you know what, XR Coon? I'm glad you're not here to hear this right now. But everybody else is pushing, "Oh, it's House of M. Oh, it's this and that." Are you giving them a hard time about pushing their theory? Just because I don't want to push everybody else's theory, I want to push my own, means you gotta give me a hard time, XR Coon? Huh? I'm kidding. Naturally, you know I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But he was, I mean, XR Coon, he was busting my chops the other day in, in one of the live chats. I'm like, "Hey, man, it's my theory." It's like, nobody else is talking about it, so I gotta run with it. So one of these days when I'm right, I can look back and be like, "See, you son of a... That's right. I was right about something for once." Actually, I've been right about a few things. But we'll get there later. Has boomers divided from whippersnappers? Yeah, and here's the thing: is I think what it is they have is what they're doing is, I think everybody had their expectations a little bit different. Some people were expecting a little more. You know, some people wanted to really dive into more stuff right off the bat. And, you know, one of the things that I was giving somebody a hard time, you know, I guess you could say kind of an acquaintance of the channel. You can find him on Twitter, called The Doctor. But he was talking about like, you know, it wasn't that good and this and that. I'm like, but what'd you expect? And he's like, "Whoa, more than this." I'm like, but like, this is what they advertised. Everything we've got in the show is what they advertised, right? The show was advertised that reality is changing around them. They're in a sitcom TV series. We know, and they even came out and said that, you know, about halfway through or partway through, it's going to turn into a full-blown MCU movie. They said that. But I was giving him a hard time. I just don't get it. Like, did they because he was talking about some stuff, you know, and I was like, so they advertised, okay, so they advertised a Big Mac, and you expected a Whopper? Oh man. But anyway, I thought it was a good series. I get if people don't like it. That's all good. If it's not your thing yet, it'll get there. Trust me. It will, especially with everything that we've seen throughout this series. Some of the stuff I want to show you guys here. I want to see if I can bring some of this stuff in. Coachella Coastal, thank you so much for being here. I must have missed you coming in. We got Jonathan Velasquez, thank you so much for being here. Who is Evan Peters playing? I'm not for sure. Who Evan Peters is playing. Do we know for sure that he's actually in the show? Do we actually know that for sure? Yeah, Mike loves everything. First come, first served. Right? Pleasantville. Yeah, very much like Pleasantville. I secretly played it on my phone so my wife can hear it, and now she's interested. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. You in the house of tea now. You don't push it enough. I know more about nerd stuff than anyone else, and you are being proved right again. Thank you, Aglax. I greatly appreciate that. Now, Louis the 13th, thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you all being here. Now, let me see if I can get here into this other scene here, so I can show you guys some of the stuff that I'm looking at here. I was looking at, where's this thing at? And I probably don't want to play the music here because, is this it? I don't want to play the music here because what'll probably happen is it's going to, let's see here. Oh no. Because if it goes into the theme music, it's going to let me see here. There we go. This should be it. Okay. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see if I can get this on the screen here. Uh-oh. Oh, no, that's not what we're looking for. Yeah, that's totally not the one we're looking for. That was totally for something else. You weren't supposed to see that. You were supposed to see that. Let me see here. Yeah, this is a mess. I know this is a mess. This is what you're thinking. Let me see. So is this it right here? Maybe. I think this is it. Let's check this out. Let me see if this. Let me see if this is gonna work. Okay, that's not it neither. Well, regardless, since I can't find that clip, I'm gonna just have to walk you through it. Basically, what happened? What I was finding is Josh over at the Den of Nerds. You know, he was talking the other day in his live stream. You know, on the episode 2, on the intro of this, on the intro of this, of the second episode, they do that whole kind of bewitched little intro, and there is a whole lot of Easter eggs in there. One of the ones that, like, I'm going through, it's got me digging deep, and I think that's what Feige is doing here. But one of the things they showed was Vision, where as he's going through and he gets ready for his day, he gets out of his closet that he don't have any skeletons in, and he goes down through the floor, right? And you see right there through the floorboards, there is an underground passage. I didn't get a screen cap of it, but basically what it is you see him go underground, and you see this little pipe, right? You see like this little pipe. You see a bone over here. Then you see a little image of the Grim Reaper's head, like his helmet. Now, if you don't know the Grim Reaper from the comics, I don't blame you. I mean, I know who he is. I know of him. I don't really know the character that well, but you can see that, and then you see kind of like, you see like a drainage pipe, and then you see another couple of bones on the other side with a spider web. Interesting, the spider web thing. But then, you see him go down, and then he goes down into the living room, and you see Wanda and Vision sitting down like on the couch, and you can see that there is a like little vase thing sitting on the side that is actually an Easter egg for Whizzer. Now, who Whizzer is, I'm not going to act like I'm some sort of professional, but Whizzer was actually a character at one point who, if I'm not mistaken, actually believed that he was Wanda's and Pietro's father, if I'm not mistaken, at one point. And there's also, when I was going back and looking through some of this stuff, and I want to go back and do a whole lot of reading on some of this stuff, and believe me when I say there's a whole lot, is it actually brings us back to Wonder Man also. The Easter egg we see is for Whizzer, because we see, like, you can see on the little vase, it has like little wings, almost like Thor's helmet. It has like little wings on it. Isn't it Thor's helmet? Has like little wings on it, and it's got it looks like a V, but I'm guessing it's a W. And if you go back and check out the character Whizzer, there's something to that. Now, however, the other thing I want to point out is there's a lot of characters here that are kind of all intertwined here, and I already see somebody else mentioning Wonder Man. We actually know, I'm almost dead sure Wonder Man's going to be in here as well, because there's a scene, and man, I don't even know if I can find this shit on here. There's a scene in a snippet that Marvel did with Kevin Feige, where he's sitting there talking about the show, and they talk to Jack Schaefer, who is the writer of the show, who is actually the writer for Black Widow also. She's sitting there talking about it, and in the background, right above her right shoulder, you can see a picture of Wonder Man. You can see his dark outfit with the big red W on it. You can see that. I'm almost sure we're getting Wonder Man. But as I was looking through, it made me look at Whizzer also, who is an older character. I went through and I looked at Whizzer. I'm like, ooh, this is very, very interesting. And I started looking at everything we got going on here. We've got Whizzer. We've got Easter eggs for Whizzer. We've got Easter eggs for Grim Reaper and some of these different things. And what it is a lot of these characters are tying back to stuff that happened in the comics a long time ago. Kevin Feige is digging deep on these ones. Now, the interesting thing here through all of this is in this trailer where we've seen they have a picture of Wonder Man behind Jack Schaefer, and Kevin Feige sitting there talking. They show this little scene where you see the Beekeeper crawling underground through the sewer, and he breaks through that barrier, that color barrier where we seen like in that same trailer seconds earlier, you see Monica Rambeau go up to the barrier outside of Westview, and she puts her hand through it, and you can see her like kind of sort of breaking that barrier. And as she's sitting there doing it, then that's when they flash to the scene of the Beekeeper doing the same thing. Now the thing is in that clip at the very beginning of WandaVision, right? At the very beginning of WandaVision, it shows that little scene there in between the floorboards, and it shows Grim Reaper's helmet with those bones, and it looks like, which is the crawlway through that sewage system. So I'm thinking that maybe the Beekeeper is actually the Grim Reaper, and he is probably working for AIM. Now, I have a whole case for why I think that we are talking about AIM. I know that even my good friend Josh over the Den of Nerds was also talking about not AIM, but he was actually talking about how you see the episodes end and you see the God, it's not a hexagon. It is a hexagon, isn't it? Hexagon? You see the hexagon come through, and it looks like what? A honeycomb, like a bee, which would be synonymous to what? AIM. AIM is the Beekeepers. Am I right? Now, going through that, I've got this whole thing that I've been talking about here on this channel. Guys, I've been talking about this for a while. We see, well, I think it's AIM and Sword here, Mike. The thing is, we see that honeycomb. Now, the thing is you're thinking like, well, how's AIM involved? How are they even involved? It's Sword, right? Because AIM, I would say, is probably like the new Hydra. And Sword is like the new Shield. And I think it's very much AIM here. And part of the reason is because Aldridge Killian, who was part of AIM. I'm telling you, I got snippets of here and shit to show you that I can show you. I want to do in a video where he talks about Aldridge Killian was part of AIM and how he spent years dodging the president's basically regulations on human gene experimentation, DNA experimentation, stuff like that. And he's talking about upgrading our bodies, right? And who was it he was working with? Well, at that time in Iron Man 3, chances are he was probably working with none other than Baron von Strucker. We seen at the very end of Captain America Winter Soldier, which came out not too soon after we seen Iron Man 3. We seen that there where they had the Mind Stone in the scepter, and they were experimenting on the Maximoffs. Now you go into that, you go into the next movie, you go into Ant-Man, and that's where you meet Darren Cross. Darren Cross, he recreated that Pym particle, right? The shrink stuff. Carson Mitchell made off with his version of the cross of that cross particle. Right? And if you go into the Cross office, the Cross labs where they were revealing Yellow Jacket, what is there all over the place? A bunch of hexagons. Like honeycombs. Like, right? Like a bee. And, I mean, we are talking about bees here. We are talking about Ant-Man. We're talking about Wasp in that case. We're talking about Yellow Jacket in that case. I mean, you see the kind of correlation that's going on here? Very interesting stuff. But Carson Mitchell in one of the scuffles there made off with some of that Pym particle, or it's not even the Pym particle, it's the cross particle. Remember, it was gold, like gold and yellow. And then later we see obviously Sonny Birch, who he was working with in Ant-Man and the Wasp. He has the Benefactor. He was talking about how all this different tech is over with. What was he talking about? I can't remember. He's talking about all this tech is over with. Cryptocurrency, just all the different things. And he goes, and he specifically said that. Oh man, why am I all of a sudden you know what? It's because I stayed up late night brainstorming on all this stuff while I was picking up all these clips. But he was talking about quantum energy is the way. It's the way of the future, right? So there's all of these things going on here. We also know about BARF technology. What was BARF technology? BARF technology, binarily augmented retroframing, right? And what was it to do? It was too expensive a way to clear traumatic memories, right? Reframe the future. Don't forget about that toaster ad. Speaking of that toaster ad, you notice the beep in it? The beep that it's beeping sounds a lot like that Stark Tech missile when in Iron Man 1, remember when it lands? And it's sitting there beeping, and he's sitting there on his phone trying to get a hold of somebody, and it's all beep, beep, and it's making that same beeping sound. I'm almost sure that's where they got that one. Regardless, we've got an organization that has all of this tech. They got Aldrich Killian's technology from illegal gene experimentation, DNA experimentation. Gee, what's that sound like? Maybe because he was talking about our DNA is meant to be upgraded. Right? Oh, gee, well, sounds kind of like mutants. Let's not forget in Ant-Man and Wasp. What did Hank Pym's wife say? This place changes you. Adaptation is part of it, but the rest is, she's explaining that. And the thing is we've got all of these things here, alluding to the mutants. We've got things alluding to AIM, these beekeepers, to Sword, and in this, like I said, in this trailer, you can see some of these things going on here. So we're getting a lot of references to a lot of characters. So we've got Grim Reaper being referenced. We've got Wizard being referenced. We know, like I said, in that thing with Jack Schaefer, we know Wonder Man's going to be in there. We're looking at some deep cuts here, which makes me think, going into looking at that, you get into the Grim Reaper, you get into Wonder Man, which they are brothers. The Grim Reaper and Wonder Man, if I'm not mistaken, they're brothers. Eric Williams, and the other one is, I can't remember his name. If I'm wrong, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Now, the other thing, you've got all of these things here. They are making some deep cuts into this stuff with some of these older characters. And part of my theory has been that they are stuck in this Pleasantville-like thing. And here's the thing, is everybody is making this Pleasantville reference, and nobody is talking about Pleasant Hill, the thing I've been talking about here on this channel. And I'm like, am I crazy here, or did just nobody else read that storyline? Which I'm sure that nobody else read that storyline. It's this one right here, Avengers standoff. Now, the thing is you got all of these things added up here. You got Wizard, you got Wonder Man, we're getting all of these things here. Who's really in charge here? Is it the Grim Reaper? Is it Agatha? Is it Agnes? One of the things I noticed in these first two episodes, we get introduced, and this is something that Josh was talking about when it comes to, Josh over the Den of Nerds was talking about these things right here with the witches and Westview. Is there East View, North View, South View? Shit, I don't know. The point being is you got all these witches. Who did we get introduced to in this series? Well, first we get Mrs. Hart. Boom. I think Mrs. Hart, I think she's the one running it, and I'll get into this in a minute. We got Mrs. Hart. We got Dottie, right? Dottie Jones, who is Wanda's neighbor. So that's why I'm not sure about the whole the witches thing. I'm not completely for sure about that. But we've got Dottie Jones, who lives right next door to Wanda. We've got Wanda. We've got Agnes. And we've got Mrs. Hart. We've got 4 potential mages here. 4 potential witches here. And, I watched The Gift recently. What about when you get these 4 witches together? What do you have? Is that not a coven? Is that a coven of... I think that's a coven. And that's when they can produce and do spells together, right? So there's some interesting stuff here. Now, the other thing that goes along with this is that these women all seem to be in charge. And look where all the husbands work, right? Vision works at a computational services, right? Computer services, analysis. If you look at Dottie Jones, who was her husband? Where did he work? He just got fired from that same job. Mr. Hart runs the computational services, so where is Agnes's Ralph at? And what's he doing? he must work for the computational services too. And here's the thing, why I'm thinking this is because look at this. You got to think Vision is going to work. Vision is not real. Vision is dead. All right? This city is new. It has not existed forever. If you watch that episode 2, they're talking about the talent show, that trophy they won. They won the inaugural and okay, I'm going to say it, inaugural, right? That's the start of it. Award for comedy, right? At that award show. Mr. Hart wasn't there. At that award or at that show. Crazy. We know the other guy, he got fired from his job. Okay, anyway, the point being is you got these people there. Vision's, we don't know that Vision's actually real. You got all these people there working at this computer services thing where they are doing what? Crunching numbers. What does, and here's the thing, is you get into it, and remember in episode 2 they go to that library and they're having that joke? Remember they're having that little joke? And they're like, oh, Vision says, oh, I have some top secret information. And he points and he says, Norm here is a communist. Right? Now, what did Norm tell him when they were at the computational places? He goes, hey man, productivity is up 300% since you've been here. 300%? Okay, you're working at a computational place. Vision comes in there 300% faster, or productivity. He's increased that himself. What? Okay, and he's there working at a computational, crunching numbers. They are computer programs. I think Norm is another computer program. And what does that imply? Norm. He is the norm. He's regular computing AI. AI, if you will. He's Norm. You got Vision. You've got just kind of those things going on. You got Hart there. You know, maybe Mr. Hart is the heart of this program that they are trying to do. So part of my thing was that maybe they're actually trying to use Vision. I think what's happening is Sword or AIM, in this case, Sword, AIM, same thing, are actually working together. What they're doing is they're trying to use Vision. They are using Vision to put into a program to try to use him and utilize his computational data. Like, they're trying to use Vision for what they want to do. And he is still light years ahead of normal AI. Right? So here's the thing though, is we get into that library and we got all the people sitting around. And if I'm not mistaken, I think all these guys are people who work there at that office, except for Ralph. We don't know about Ralph for sure. Ralph is the outsider. But you get there and he makes that joke about Norm being a communist. And that's when you see, well, we don't know, what's his name? Not Ralph, Herbert. That's what I'm thinking about, not Ralph, Herb. Herb is his name. Ralph is Agatha's husband's name, right? Yeah. So you see him sitting there, and after he says he's a communist, and they all laugh, because what's funny is that at first it was like the one guy Norm, he's like he don't know what to say. You know why? Because he works for AIM, because he's a communist. And then you see him laugh, and you see Phil Jones laugh. They're laughing. They're laughing off the situation, and you know they kind of laugh it off, and even Ralph, not Ralph, but man, see, now I got myself confused. You get in there, and just come in. Sorry about that. So you sit there, and he sits there, and he goes, not Ralph, but oh man, Herb turns to him and says, Big Red, right after he made a comment about Norm being a communist. He says, Big Red. So he gives him the Big Red. And what is that Big Red? My thing is I think that Big Red was a virus. I think the Big Red was a virus, because we can see that it gummed up his insides and he was not able to function properly. He is fake. He's a program. He's dead. I think that Big Red was a virus to try to get into Vision so they could try to utilize and get information and extract information out of Vision. I know this seems deep. It seems really, really far-fetched. But just hear me out. All these people work at this computational services. What are they doing? They don't know what they're doing. They're just crunching numbers. We don't see Mr. Hart in episode 2. Where did he go? We've seen Mrs. Hart. All of these things just seem to keep adding up. And also, let's not forget, in that WandaVision intro on that second episode, remember as they're flashing by all the neighbors, they're driving by, and you see Ralph there? Or not Ralph? Man, see, now I've done it. Herb, what's Herb there sitting there doing? Trimming them hedges in between the Jones and the between the Jones yard and Agnes's yard. And when they go by Agnes, what did they show? If you look at Agnes, when they drive by her, in the background, they show, like on her house, like the little awning above a window, that makes it look like she's wearing a witch's hat. Whew. Point being is all of these things, I think, are added up to where we see these people trying to manipulate Wanda. We've seen in that second episode where through the radio you hear, Wanda, who's doing this to you? And, you've seen Dottie even look like, who's that? Who is that? There's something going on here. Somebody manipulating it, and there's just so much going on here. And all of this stuff really still plays into my Pleasant Hill theory, that we're in Pleasant Hill, where we see the Grim Reaper finding a way to get underground and go into this reality, getting stuff in and out. In that little scene, like I said, in the intro scene, you've seen two bones over here, and you've seen one bone over here. It looks like the Grim Reaper is probably going in and out to get those bones, those skeletons, if you will. Now, there's another interesting scene too, where we see all those. Remember in the trailer we seen like all the agents kind of going around, where you're sitting there, like it shows the above shot of all the agents, right? It looks like it's that same scene where Monica got shot out of that reality and laying there on the ground, but it's not, because it shows this zoomed out one, and you can see them all gathered around their little cars, and up in the middle of the screen you can see somebody walking out of Westview, and it looks like Wanda, and it looks like maybe she's got a kid with her. I could be wrong, but also, and I don't have, all this stuff is going to be coming in a video, because I've got all the screenshots and all that stuff for this shit, but you see, it looks like they got a little kid, but you also see somebody in there that looks like they have a green head or a green hat. I'm not sure if that means anything. I don't think it's a scroll. I'm not really for sure, but there's a whole lot of things, like, oh man, I'm telling you, there's a whole lot of crazy stuff going on in the scene. We obviously see, and here's the other thing that people, I want to get across to you, is my whole Pleasantville thing, the whole Pleasant Hill thing. I think it's one of the things going on here, because we seen at the end of episode 1 where we seen it pan out of the TV series of somebody sitting there monitoring, and you see them right making some notes, and then they got on the little thing, and it looks like they're calling somebody, and you can hear the helicopter in the background. They're already sitting there watching, monitoring. Now the reason I think that it has to do with AIM is because of what Aldrich Killian was saying then in that Iron Man 3. We're coming back to this. Was, remember, he put that thing on his head, and he goes, here, let's take a look at this. And he goes, and he turns on that projector, and it shows projector. He goes, oh no, that's the universe. And he goes, that's my brain. And she goes, what? He goes, oh, it's a direct feed. He points right to it. He goes, it's a direct feed. You're looking at my brain. And this is when he went in and talked about his illegal experimentation and upgrading DNA and stuff like that. It's a direct link to his brain, right? Sword is sitting there watching what's going on this television screen that's going on in Wanda's brain. Now, you might be thinking, well, how are they doing all this? How are they doing this to Wanda? With a combination of all this technology they have appropriated. They've got Aldrich Killian's stuff, right? Get that live feed. They've also got all the barf tech. Remember, and this is the one I still got to go clip. At the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, we seen that doctor, and I can't remember his name all of a sudden, the kid that was, the kid from A Christmas Story, at the very end of the movie, what did he make off with? He made off with that little drive that had control to all, to Edith. Edith? Barf? Ralph? Norm? And here's the thing about Norm, about he's a communist. Norm sounds like Norm. That sounds like something that would be, because the Russians technology always seems to be a little bit like the Americans, but behind, like junkier, but they're appropriating it all. I think that's why we've got Norm. So they're like, all of these things are there. They've got all of this technology where they can actually sit there, have Wanda subdued, be getting a direct feed into her brain, and be looking at all these things. And how are they manipulating her? With barf, because maybe they are in there trying to manipulate what she is seeing, her augmented reality, and find out exactly what's going on here. And that's where I think all of this stuff comes from. Dang, man, I can't. My brain's running wild again. With all of this stuff. Uh-oh. Looks like I better get over to the den. It looks like I'm missing the good stuff. But man, I'm telling you, I think all of these things are coming in. I think we've got different organizations working together, trying to find this stuff out. Now, the other thing is, along with, remember, in episode 2, when they see that Beekeeper come up out of the ground, and she looks at him, and she says no. And what happens is time rewinds, and they go back to that point where they found out about the kids, and everything starts turning to color, right? Everything starts turning to color. Now, the thing is with that is she rewound time and changed stuff there. And then, which brings me back to Doctor Strange. Remember when he was sitting there with the apple? And I've already talked about all this stuff. He was sitting there with the apple, turning back and forth time. And, Baron Mordo came in there and said, "What are you doing? Are you crazy? You're going to cause temporal manipulations, time paradoxes, time loops. Do you want to live your life in a time loop or having never existed at all?" And they say you weren't breaking you weren't manipulating the space-time continuum, you were breaking it. This is exactly what Wanda's doing when they showed an example of this in the first episode when she's sitting there messing with the chicken to try to get the chicken to cook. She's like, ooh, and she fast forwards time and it was too much, so she rewinds it and it becomes eggs. That is a temporal manipulation, right? She is messing with stuff, and it's very interesting seeing all this stuff go down. But anyway, guys, I think I've nerded out here for about long enough. Let me get here into the chats. I see a lot of you in here talking and being very active. I apologize. I've just been nerding out. I've been nerding out here. Louis the 13th, thank you so much for being here. After hearing that audience just now, I realized that this stream does need more canned audience laughter. We'll get there. I'll get it for you. She's going to try and bring Quicksilver back, and it's going to be Mephisto instead. Mephisto using Wanda to manifest, says Will Morgan. It very well could be. The interesting thing was, like, there's so much going on here at this point. Like, I'm at a loss at this point. I'm at a loss for this point. But yeah, absolutely. Jonathan Velasquez says the animated entry. Yeah. Did you see the Wonder Man statue? See, and that's the thing is, I don't think it's Wonder Man. I think it's Wizard. But Wonder Man is coming too. I have no doubt about that. And the only reason I think it's Wizard, not Wonder Man, is because the little wings that are on that little statue. I doubt it. The Beekeeper is the helicopter pilot, I think. What helicopter? Have you seen the wall moves after she rewinds the scene? The wall moves? Which wall moves? But the Beekeeper is dressed like a beekeeper, not a helicopter pilot. Yeah, Fixie FOC. Yeah, man. George says, have you seen the wall moves after she rewinds the scene? Yeah, I didn't see the wall moves. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. But I know Eric Voss over at New Rockstars, he was talking about like on that one wall where you see like it looks like that picture. It has like a mural of the building where they kept where they experimented on Wanda and Pietro. I mean that it was there the whole time. It wasn't just there like through like I remember seeing that in the trailer. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and check that wall thing out. It's between the floors of the house. Yeah. Jamonga, I do like everything MCU better than the other, but most gold. I'm your friendly neighborhood Mike Porter. There we go. Yeah, MCU Stan. Yes, there are stairs in the living room all of a sudden. Those stairs were there. Because remember, Oh, yeah. You're talking about when you okay. I see what you're talking. You're talking about because the decade's changing there. That's what you guys are talking about. The decade's changing. The whole house is changing. Yeah, the whole house is changing. Absolutely. Because where those stairs are, there used to just be a hallway, and we seen all that in the first episode where it was just like a hallway, and then there was like a little divider, and then it went into the kitchen. Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. Wizard, I thought it was Wonder Man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Wizard, but Wonder Man is coming too. Wonder Man will be coming too. I think they're bringing all of them. Okay, not WandaVision. Comment here. Bad idea. Coming soon. Does anybody know what I'm referring to? A bad idea. I know. No, what are you talking about? I know I see WandaVision. Somebody always goes into the Den of Nerds Live and says that about WandaVision. But no, I don't know what you're talking about with WandaVision. I mean something else is there's something trying to come through the wall. Something trying to come through the wall? I'll have to check that out. Oh, didn't know about Wizard? Okay, yeah. Wizard. Yeah. Wizard's in there. I'm pretty sure Wonder Man's coming too. Oh man, I thought I was the only one that saw it. There's a part when it happens where it is right in the middle of the screen too. I'll have to check that out. To be honest, I thought when Wanda has them all held hostage. Well, I think she does. I think some of them are held hostage in her reality. Yeah. Luckily, everyone in the Marvel Universe knows the importance of branding. Absolutely. I'm glad they do. Or part of her consciousness does. Yeah, you're right, Lord Veedo. I mean, I think she's running shit. Yeah, absolutely. Wonder Man and Grim Reapers are definitely brothers. Yeah. Absolutely. Jonathan Velasquez is 2836 in the show. I'll have to check that out, Georts, because I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. I'll have to go because I like I said I was combing through a lot of this. I'm honestly not familiar with Grim Reaper or Wizard. Me neither. I'm like I know about Grim Reaper a whole lot more than I know about Wizard, and believe me, I don't know that much about Grim Reaper. Love how the show keeps you guessing. Absolutely. Fun fact: Grim Reaper loves breakfast for dinner. Yeah. I think you know what's funny is when the boss was choking, when Mr. Hart was choking, if I'm not mistaken, it looked like Vision actually pulled out a whole strawberry. It looked like a strawberry. It looked like that strawberry that was on the. It looked like that whole strawberry that he pulled out of his mouth, which is funny because it was all editing. It's all editing too because you didn't see it. It made me wonder like why is he chewing on food because. Through the scenes, you didn't see him actually sitting there like he was eating, but at that point he had stopped eating and he wasn't chewing on food, and then all of a sudden he was choking. I'm like, it's an editing thing, it's a continuity thing. I'm not gonna bust her balls about it, but yeah, interesting. Okay, I think the one I saw was on episode 1 near the beginning. Oh, okay, I'll have to check it out. Aim, not sword. I think it's both. Will Morgan says Grim Reaper is huge in the Avengers comic, killed many times, but most recently by Vision. Interesting. Yeah. Do you think Herb is the high evolutionary? I've heard somebody mention that. I don't know. He could be, but I don't think so. But he could be. I won't deny. At this point, I can't deny it. I can't say no. That's what I'm doing, a complete read-through of the Avengers from the 1960s forward, and I'm only on issue 21 or 22. Yeah, nice. aggressively says that Nathan Fillion had been cast as Wonder Man in Guardians of the Galaxy, but it got cut out. Hopefully he keeps the role. All right. Interesting. MCU is so connected. MCU rules. Yes. Everyone in the show is wearing Strucker watches in the show. Yeah, absolutely they are. They absolutely are. Before we even learned about the Strucker watches, that was something I was looking at before anyway. I'm like, man, what's with these watches? They're all wearing the same ones. Geort says, I have the Disney Plus open in a new tab. Have you checked already? No one watched it yet so far. Checked already what? Huh? What? Perp Minded, thank you so much for being here. Hope you're doing well, man. 2nd Street in 8K. Yeah, man. Yeah. Finally upgraded some stuff and got my good camera hooked up to this thing, man. Yeah. Yeah. Ralph. The toaster looks like Vision. You think the toaster looks like Vision? Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, shaved. Yeah. More like Ultron. The two toasts are children, I assume. Could be. And here's the funny thing is the other thing why I'm thinking about the women, about Wanda, what's her name? Dottie, Agatha, Agnes, and Miss Hart being the ones who are in charge here, is because remember, we're talking about mages here. We're talking about witches. What witches do you know that are married? Right? Does Agnes have a husband in the comics? Wanda probably does, but for the most part, like, look at Morgan Le Fay. She ain't got no husband. Look at look at some of the mages that we have in a lot of these things. The women don't have men, right? I'm glad you brought that up, because God, who was it that just said that? Who was it just said that? Man, did I just lead myself to that about the children and the toast? Oh yeah, because in that Strucker thing, and notice in the first episode about the toaster, he's like, "Oh, tired of your wife burning your toast, or is your man tired of?" However they put that. So we see, the woman who's supposedly there making the food for her man, toast, right? But then later in the second commercial, no man is complete without his special woman. And she comes up, rubs his collar, and then, and then it shows his watch, and they take off. It very much made me feel like the woman was the one in charge here. She keeps his mind under the spell because she's a witch. Is this Morgan? I don't think it's Morgan Le Fay we're talking about. What are we talking about? What's the other one I'm thinking of? Madam Hydra. Madam Hydra. Is this not is that not what they're alluding to here? Is Madam Hydra Viper? Isn't that right? Viper? Madam Hydra? It kind of feels like it. It kind of feels like, because this show so far has been very woman centric, right? Been focusing a lot on the females, and I'm thinking we're going somewhere. Just popping to say what's up, man. Yeah, West Coast Nerd Benja. What's up, Lavis? Man, I need to hurry. Oh man, I'm probably missing all the good stuff that Josh is going through over on the Dan. Mike is a stan. Mike Porter is your neighborhood MCU stan. Look out. Mike is a stan. Yeah. Mike Porter's your MCU stan. Mike's a stan. Mike Porter is your neighborhood MCU stan. That's funny. They are working on mutants. Absolutely. Sup to all the fellow nerd benjas. All right, man. Yeah, I need to make it over to the den. I know I'm missing all the good stuff. The red dot is right where the stone should be. Okay. Yeah. We'll see about that. Yeah, I could see that. Wookiee Supremacy. What is up, my brother? Will Morgan says Amar called the Beekeepers because of their suits. Yes. Yeah. You know what's funny is we actually seen a red Beekeeper suit in Captain America Civil War. I thought that was kind of interesting. It wasn't necessarily a Beekeeper one, but it was, yeah, anyway. Grace actually mentioned that comic in her vid. Okay. All right. Love the deep theory here, Trinity. Thank you. Dottie, they kept her casting quiet. They did. They kept her they kept her casting real quiet. That's true. That's true. Miss Hart didn't seem fishy to me. Oh, I think she's way fishy, Chillmonk. I think she's way fishy. Ralph is a computer. Yeah. Absolutely. Dead in that reality. Dude, how do we get Patton Oswalt to play MODOK? Connect the origin story of the Koenig brothers from S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, they could. There were men and women, but no couples. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people made mention that there's no other kids in the town. We haven't seen any yet, but I did see in the background on the mailman scene, pew pew, where you can see a man and a woman walking down the street, and it looks like the woman is pushing a stroller. And they did mention that the talent show was to benefit the children of Westview Elementary. Wanda seems to have all of the power stones. I don't know. I don't know about all that. I don't know. But I will say that I think all their power can be replicated. Yeah, Josh is like, dang it, I'm late. You give the credit for the children. Yeah. For the first time, I agreed with your speculation. Vision isn't real. What? You don't think Vision? You think he is real? They're trying to fix Vision. Yeah, no, they're trying to use Vision because they have his memory. Like, remember what's her name? Yeah, remember Shuri got his memory. Like, the thing is Vision was just an AI. That's like he was started off as Jarvis. They mixed him with the Mind Stone, and that's how they got. Yeah, and let's not forget that he's kind of linked to Ultron. Trying to go in MCU crazy. It's like a sugar high. It is. The Marvel Legends short, they focus on Jarvis bonding with Ultron. Right. Absolutely. I agree he isn't real, but will come into the main timeline, and that will cause the rifts in the multiverse. Are we talking about... Who are you talking about there? The Widow? Oh my god, yeah. See, I've been... Trinity is in full conspiracy tree. Yeah, that was Vision hacking into the security system. Could be. Yeah. Herb, the high evolutionary. Yeah, he could be. He went up and asked about security protocol, then gives them bad data. They refuse it and accept him. He's now in control. I like that, Jonathan, because that goes along with them trying. That goes along with my them trying to hack him thing. I like that. It's an allegory. Yeah. Herb. Yeah. Vision is on a table monitored, and Wanda seeks help from witches to search for Vision in another dimension because Vision was more than just a machine. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh man. Okay, that bulletin board full of pictures and strings. Yeah, it is. Yeah, can't wait for the agency. I'm going to cut this amazing explanation, then turn it into an MP3 to play at telemarketers who call me. Yeah. Marvel has made Trinity conspiracy theorist. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm making me miss the Dan. Trinity the goat. I'm trying. Trinity's free. Yeah, I am freaking out. Me too, Trinity. I've watched both episodes 7 times to catch what I missed. Oh man, I know it's crazy. The house is evolving. Yeah. I think that. Yeah. I don't mean the whole house. Okay, yeah, I'll go check it out. Bad Idea is a new comic book company. WandaVision is just a joke. Yeah, no, I got that. Okay, Bad Idea is a new comic book company. Oh, okay. Yeah. A sausage to me, and he wasn't eating. She did it. I believe she caused Mr. Hart to choke to shut him up. Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm right there. I'm right there as well. I just don't know. I do think she caused it though. I do think she caused that. Yeah. Red Raven 96. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait for that new episode either. Just want to say hi and leave a like. Thank you so much for being here, Tim. We're getting ready to switch over to the dinners in just a minute. And I'm just saying it was a toaster. Yeah, I think it was just a toaster. I do think it alludes to a lot of stuff. Dormammu is the big. I think Dormammu definitely has something to do with it. I think he has something to do with it because he's part of the dark dimension. Like, that was explained in Doctor Strange 2, where there's the multiple realities, and in the dark dimension, there are a bunch of people out there who want, they're looking to consume the earth. So I'm there with you on that. I'm there with you on that, Human Crack 80890. I'm there with you. So the new episodes this week is based on 70s, right? I'm guessing so. I'm guessing this one's going to be 70s, and I'm guessing the 70s is where it's going to really start to blow up. And I will tell you in the next episode, because we see later that Ray Park is actually in the community by the time they get to the 70s. In the 70s scenes, he's there in the community in the 70s scenes. Yeah. The twins have the symbol on their forehead like the villain in Doctor Strange. Oh, yeah. The twins have the symbol. Oh, no! Do we got a spammer in here? Don't make me nerd venge in my own stream, man. Where did Vision go after the snap? Well, where did he go before the snap? Shuri downloaded his consciousness. Shuri downloaded him before he died. But after the snap, and that's kind of the thing too, is after the snap, my thing is like, if his body's there, if they have his body, they have essentially Vision. They have a shell. But not only that, this leads into my other thing too, where in the comic books they had Kobik, Kobik was a sentient little girl that came about because of this violent merging of cosmic cube fragments. They exploded and turned into a sentient little girl. So very much so, yeah, could be. Sword took his body during the 5-year skip and work on his body. Yeah. I'm there with you on that. I'm there with you on that, Human Crack 0890. I'm there with you on that. Yeah. Absolutely. They want to extract Ultron, yet Wanda is another dimension, and someone, Mephisto, isn't liking it, I guess. Yeah. I think it's kind of there. Yeah, exactly. They're trying, and that's the thing. They're trying to get these programs so they can use it to. And here's the thing: is it's so funny too, because we're looking at control. We're looking at control through TV. They are controlling Wanda through TV, possibly, or whatever visions are in her head. Kind of like social media and phones and stuff are controlling you, right? Kind of the same thing. Yes, I have a preview video coming out later today of the Bad Idea books. Okay, yeah. I have to go. Great stream. Thank you so much, The Widow, for being here. I appreciate it. She could not download Vision 100%. Do we know that though? Do we know that she didn't get it all? I don't know. Because we don't really know whether she got it all or not. But here's the one thing for sure. Tony Stark does have it all. They created him. Like, Tony Stark pretty much created him. It was with the help of Ultron, but it was Jarvis, the Mind Stone, converged, created Ultron. Ultron then was just trying to create a new body for himself, which was when he was using Vision. He was trying to create a new body for himself, and that's when he started putting his memory into Vision. But they didn't get it all done. They didn't get all of Ultron's stuff in there, and then later the Avengers got the cradle, and Thor came in and brought him to life. So yeah. Sure, he didn't get the Mind Stone part? Oh, you mean like the actual stone? Yeah. And here's the thing though, is like, I think all of these stones, their power can be replicated. We've seen Tony Stark literally use the stone to replicate power. He used the Space Stone to create a limitless supply of power, which Stark's being the Stark Sham, he's behind on the times because Dr. Arnim Zola, Hail Hydra, actually used the Space Stone to create that same energy that Tony Stark had to use to even experiment and create it. That was created by Dr. Arnim Zola, right? So all of these, I think all of the power of all of these stones can be replicated. I'll just put that out there. Okay, I got crazy theories, man. Nice. All right, Will Morgan. Hell yeah. Yeah. Indeed, it is the same thing. All right. Just watched The Incredibles 2. Same story as Wonder Woman, 1984, and Batman Forever. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For example, it's all about mind control. Yeah. Absolutely. Vision will return only to become the next incarnation of Ultron, and Ultron will be a big threat once again. I'm there with you on that. I like that, Reefer. I like that. Because I don't think Ultron's done. I think he'll probably return. But anyway, guys, that's all I've got for today's live stream. Thank you all so much for being here and putting up with hearing my harebrained theories and me ignoring you guys for most of the hour because I'm just sitting there going nuts in my head. But let me know if you're watching this on the replay what you think about this and any of my other theories. I greatly want to hear all of your thoughts, theories, and everything down in the comments below. And make sure that, after this goes live, make sure you come back and leave a comment in the comment section on this video live stream replay when it's done doing all that. And you can do that, please, because I want to hear all your thoughts, because I won't remember all this stuff that's here in this live chat. But you all have a very good day, and we'll see you. Once again, thank you all so much for being here today, and we'll see you in the next video or live stream. Later.